All right, we're live. This is our very first time coming on live. I'm here with Melissa Dunn.
Hello, everyone.
It's my first time live. It's not your first time live.
Not my first time live.
First time live on my channel. She's OG at going live
2020
on Facebook.
OG.
Yeah,
Like when live was the thing to do.
I'm a noob. So this is the first time. So we're planning on doing this Tuesdays at noon. So for the foreseeable future, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
This may be terrible. This
It could
may
be.
go awful.
Don't tell. Wait, can you not tell us if it is?
What do you mean? Oh, like them?
Like in the comments, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
don't
be
tell
like,
us.
Way to go, guys.
If it's terrible, just be really, really quiet.
Yeah. Oh,
and
that's a
we'll
good-
we'll just assume that. And if you would like to join us next Tuesday, we'll be here next Tuesday either way. But if it's something you're enjoying, let us know. So today's topic is student loan debt. It's been in the news a lot. I don't know because there's the resumption of collections.
Okay.
So there's been student loans have been all over the place over the past, I guess, 5 years since the pandemic because they went on pause and then they came back on, but then they weren't doing collections. And now
Now they're doing collections.
they're going to start taking their money. Now they're going to start. So I thought it would be a good time to talk about it. We're specifically talking about people who already have student loan
Okay.
debt, not people who are thinking about getting student loan debt. We're not going to be debating policy. Like, it is what it is. So we're just going to be talking about how I would handle it, my recommendations, my thoughts, just generally on student loan debt. I did want to bring up an update. I just posted a video about Comcast, Get My Goat episode.
Yeah.
And I said that according to their website, I could not cancel by phone. I either had to mail a letter or go in store
Which is
to
ridiculous.
cancel my business internet. But when I went to do it, I was like, I'm going to give them a call just to see, even though specifically in black and white on their website, it said you can only do it these two ways. And I was able to do it.
Oh, okay.
I was able to do it.
All right.
So my goat was gotten, but
Then it was ungotten?
they came through. I don't know if that's intentional. Like they want you to think it's harder to just create a barrier, or if they just haven't updated the website or what. But I called them. They emailed me a contract. I signed the paperwork
Cancellation.
saying I was canceling and it was good to go. So props to you. I want to give I want to complain where I need to complain, but I also want to give credit where credit is due. So credit to Comcast. So that's really all the updates. I figure we'll just jump right into the topic. Before we do jump into the topic, I do want to say we are on a mission to overtake the Godfather, Dave Ramsey.
And we're almost there.
And his followers, yeah. And I just checked last night. He has 4.05 million followers.
Okay.
And I haven't checked us, but I
think I just saw it. Can I give you the number?
Yeah, please.
It is 545.
545. So we are only 4,000,000.05 away from overtaking
So
him.
close.
So please please subscribe to the channel and help us on that mission to overthrow the Godfather. It won't be long.
It won't be long.
It will not be long. So, okay. So, student loans. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, student loans.
I have kind of like a little bit of like a couple step process I want to walk through on this of just what I would recommend. If you're, especially if you're struggling, you're like overwhelmed, you're upset, you're not sure what to do. And so my first step in this is acceptance. And this seems silly. This seems a little like recovery speak. This seems a lot of things. But when I see trending TikToks and I see other people talking about this, there's a lot of upset and rage and anger about the system. And I'm not even saying that that's misplaced necessarily. Like I think the system is broken and I think the system needs to be fixed. But if you're the one right now who has the debt, the system is the system.
Yeah.
No amount of being upset about it right now is going to change the system. Now, I do think we should vote. I do think we should advocate for change of the system. But if you're waiting on the system to change to fix your current issue, you're gonna be waiting a long time, because if and when it gets fixed, it's not going to be fixed in whole. It's going to be fixed in little pieces. It's probably not going to be fixed the way that you want it. And so we just need to accept the system the way that it is and accept our past decisions. Because
I think that's a hard one. That's a hard one for me. The guilt and shame of poor financial decisions.
Yeah. And so maybe you got a liberal arts degree that you can't use for anything functional. Maybe you've changed your mind. I know a lot of people, we live in a town with a Christian university, and a lot of people who have gotten degrees that worthless probably isn't the right term, but they may feel like it's worthless because I do think there is some value in the education and the experience, the relationships that are built, the process that you go through. I think there's value in it, but they're not doing anything with the actual degree.
Yeah. And it's like $60,000 here.
And you can just
Liberty.
kind of kick yourself. And I think the primary reason for acceptance being so important is that when we're not willing to accept something, we don't want to look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want to avoid it. And when we avoid this, it's only going to get worse. It's just, it just is. So let's accept it. And then let's be able to look at it in its face and just say,
let's do it.
I made those decisions. The system is the way that it is, but how do I handle it now?
Yeah.
Right. So number 1 is acceptance. Number 2, I want us to take control, right? I want us to feel like you have control, to feel like you have control over this situation, and then to do something about it. And so the things that we're going to do is the things that we have control over is our spending. So number 1, we want to control our spending. I have a free program on timgosnell.com, which if this wasn't our first time, I'd probably put up a URL for it. It's called the Unbudget, and it really helps you control your spending. It is the easiest system. I call it the Unbudget because with the traditional budget, you're having to track and categorize expenses. It's too much work, and that's why we don't do it. And so the Unbudget solves that problem, and it makes it so you don't have to track it, and you can just do it. So sign up for the Unbudget for free, and that will help you take control of your spending, right? The other part of the equation is our income. We do need to maximize our income. So if you're and this is all assuming that you want to get out of debt.
Yeah.
Because maybe you don't. Maybe you're fine with it, and you want to live. And I'm not trying to talk you into something otherwise.
Yeah.
Personally, for myself, I want to live a life where I don't have those obligations, which makes it so that I can do what I want. I have more flexibility in my life. The less obligations I have, the more cash reserves that I have, and the more income I have. When all those line up, then it equals more flexibility. And I want you to have that flexibility too, because you just see and hear so many people who are miserable.
Yeah.
Because of their financial decisions, because they're the inverse,
Yeah.
right? They have a lot of financial obligations and they're not maximizing their income. So we want to reverse that. And so I want you to maximize your income. There's a couple of things you can do. I did a whole video, if you search the channel for increasing your income, you can work overtime, you can get side jobs, you can sell stuff. I mean, there's lots of ways to do it, but we need to take control and figure out how can we increase our income. Because if we take control of our spending and we've locked in our spending is here, then every bit that we can add on top of that can go directly to whatever our goal is, which in this case is paying down student loan debt. So all of that extra can go straight to that, which is awesome. And then lastly, I would highly recommend you speaking to someone who is a professional who knows about student loan debt programs, right? I'm not an expert on student loans, the programs. They change a lot. I remember early on in the pandemic, if everybody heard about the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program and all that. And even the experts didn't know anything, but I surely didn't know anything. So I'm talking to accountants, I'm talking to lawyers, I'm talking to bankers, everyone that's involved to really try to understand it as best as I can. And so I want you to do that too, because this is an area that's changing. And I want you to take full advantage of any program that's there. So if there's, if you can get forgiveness based on working in a nonprofit sector and you're working in a nonprofit sector, whatever it is, I want you to be highly aware of it and I want you to take full advantage of it. It's there. A lot of people just avoid the paperwork.
It's overwhelming.
It is. But that's why we find somebody who's a professional who can walk it through. And if you're married or you have people in your life who are good at this stuff, lean on them. Like I'm good at asking uncomfortable questions of people, asking for discounts, asking for these different things, right? But I'm not great at paperwork. My wife, Sarah, is really good at paperwork. So if there's any sort of rebate or anything like that, you just give it to her, it's done. It would sit on a pile on my desk for weeks and weeks, months and months, and she just gets it done. And so if your spouse is like that, the opposite of you, or maybe that's you and your spouse is good at the other part, divide it up, divide and conquer.
Leverage the people around you. Yeah.
You and your Jared, is one of you better at one thing?
He's better actually at paperwork and getting stuff done.
Yeah.
100%.
I hate it. It'll just sit there.
I'm a procrastinator.
But I'll know what paperwork I need to do usually.
Well, yeah.
But I don't want to
I'm not going to do it.
Okay. So those are the major steps that I want you to walk through. Acceptance, and I want you to take control of this, take control of your spending income, and then find out what programs are out there.
Can I just say we have one friend on watching with us? And can we just say hello to them?
Hello, friend.
Hello. Hello.
Who you are, we don't know.
We don't
We would
know.
love a comment, but thank you.
No pressure.
Thank you for watching.
Yes.
It's probably my in-laws.
They've stuck with us.
My in-laws watch more than anyone. So thanks, Mom and Pops.
That's great.
So, all right. So we're going to, we don't have anybody asking questions. So I went to Reddit and found some questions, and Melissa's going to read those. I'm going to put them on the screen. We're going to start with number one.
Okay.
And we'll go through these.
Okay. Am I in too much student debt? So I'm currently in my 3rd year of university, and it's the first time I've had to take out a loan. I've now accrued $4,500 of debt. I'm a bit worried as I've never been in debt before. What is the average amount of student debt?
I intended
to look that up,
come up with stats, and I had them, and I forgot to include them in my notes. The average student loan debt, it's actually less than you would think. It was somewhere around somewhere around $10,000 to $20,000. It was not.
I would have thought
it was
20.
not crazy. I was thinking it would be 50 plus. So, you know, with a lot of these questions, we're not going to have all of the information that I need to give a full answer.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of talk around different scenarios. So one, she's in her 3rd year and she has 4,500. So she's already very close. I mean, she's close to being done. And that's what she has. So I would say she's below average, if that's part of the question, right? I love that she's worried about it. Like, meaning I don't want her to have anxiety about it. Is it a her? Do we know? I don't know why I thought it was a her. They, I don't want them to be worried about it, but I do want them to be aware and conscious about the decisions going into debt, right? So I don't, you know, if she's actively going into more debt, but she's not working and she has time to work a part-time job, I would prefer that she's working a part-time job and then going into less debt. The other things that I want to consider as I'm evaluating something like this is, you know, and she's in her 3rd year, so this may be a little too late, is am I studying something that's going to be worth the payoff for what I'm paying for college? Because not all degrees are created equally, and you don't need a degree to do everything. And so if you don't need a degree and you're paying top dollar for your degree, it's going to be counterintuitive. Yeah. So those are the things that I would look into. You know, can I be working? Can I be reducing the amount of debt? And is this really something I should be investing in? So
awesome.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to number 2.
Okay. Should I rush to pay off my student loans? I am 24 years old with no other debt. I have an outstanding student loan balance of $21,300. 4 separate loans totaling $21,300 each loan with its own individual interest rate. Average weighted rate across 4 loans is 3.8%. This student loan is the only debt that I have, as I recently sold a car and no longer have the auto loan. I have enough in savings to pay off the loan in one go. I'm just not sure if it's the wisest move to make because I don't have any other debt and don't plan on taking on any other loans in the near term. Should I even rush to pay off the student loan? Will doing so have a negative effect on my credit score?
Okay. So, and I'm going to summarize and then like read into this a little bit. Part of the reason why I think they mention the interest rate is a relatively low interest rate, especially for now. And I think that, again, I looked into the average interest rate and it was higher than that. I think it was 6 to 8 to 9, somewhere in there. So, so this is a very good interest rate. And they're basically saying like, it's a good interest rate. Is there a reason I should pay it off? And the other part of the question is it going to affect their credit score?
Yeah.
So when we close off credit, it can affect our credit score negatively in the short term. But frankly, in general, that's not why I want to keep that around. Like there's, you know, even closing credit cards right now, Sarah and I have a lot of credit cards open and it's kind of overwhelming. Like meaning like one of my principles for personal finance is simplicity, and it's not simple right now. It's not easy. The more complex it is, the more likely you are to miss something and all that kind of stuff. So I'm a fan of simplicity, but closing a credit card can cause your credit score to go down as well. I never want to make any of those decisions. I don't want to be delinquent on anything, and that will cause my credit score to go down. That's bad. But closing debt, paying off debt, yes, it will have some effect in the short term.
But you're not going to take that in consideration, in real consideration.
No, that's not the reason I'm going to make this decision. So the answer is yes, it will potentially cause your credit score to go down, but that doesn't matter to me. So for me, maybe it matters to you, but I don't want to keep that around for the rest of my life. 2, all right, so should you pay it off? Generally, my recommendation is to walk through the money milestones, which you can find on timgosnell.com. And it's the order that I recommend building wealth, which involves getting out of debt as well. And so I would recommend that you look at those and make sure that you're doing number one, which is investing, which is a small baby step into investing of maxing out your match, your employer match, or starting with $10 a month. I just want you to get started and get rolling and feel like you're making some progress towards your retirement. So do that one.
Flexing a muscle, building the muscle.
Building the muscle and getting a win. Like I want you to get an easy win. Like both of those are relatively easy. And the match maybe is less easy because it's going to be a little bit more money, but it's a big win. It's a 100% return on your money. So I like both of those. Number 2 is 1 month's worth of income saved up. Number 3 is pay off high interest debt. So whoever this person is has paid off high interest debt. I don't know. So I would make sure I'm doing number 1. I would make sure that I have 1 month's worth of income. She doesn't have any other debt. And this is not considered high interest debt because I consider high interest debt 10 or higher, 10% or higher. Then I would fully fund my emergency fund. So whoever they are, you want to figure out at least a 6-month emergency fund of 6 months worth of expenses. And then we want to pay off all other debt. So if I'm them and I've walked through 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to then pay off the debt if I can. Now, here's the caveat. This is personal finance. We're all comfortable with different things. If you're the type of person that is okay with carrying some debt, I personally don't like carrying the debt and then just doing something else with that money. What I am okay with is if you literally have $20,000 sitting there, is investing that for the long term in the stock market and letting that grow. That on average historically is going to grow at a much higher rate than the 3.8. Mm-hmm. And so whatever that difference is, you're making, right? So I would be comfortable with that if you're comfortable sticking that in the stock market for at least 5 years, right? And then they'll make up for it. But it is riskier because you have to know yourself. Because if you're the type of person that maybe is just going to spend it away, it just becomes an excuse to spend more money. So personally, I would pay it off. There is a reason mathematically to potentially keep it around, but I don't love it. Mm-hmm. I don't love it.
You don't love how it feels.
I don't like how it feels, but maybe you do. We're all different, but personally, I would want to get it paid off, get it off and back. So that's that. Last question.
Okay. I have a lot of stocks and a lot of
student loans. A lot of stocks. I love that. I would like to know what a lot of stocks.
Yeah. Interesting.
What that is, but okay. I got a lot and a lot of student.
Over the last 5 years, I've stocked up on generous amount of stocks from my company. I also have stocked up on some credit card debt and still have student loans. I would like someone who is financially intelligent to take my stocks and sell them in the most efficient way in order to pay off my debts. What kind of financial professional should I go into who will sort this out for me in the best possible way? I was just going to go to any kind of financial advisor, but I heard many of them were scammers. I saw maybe a fiduciary. How do you explain this to them? I am so lost.
Okay. Number one, I'm glad you have a lot of stocks. Congratulations. Not as much congratulations on the student loan and the credit card debt, but I'm glad that you're thinking about this. And they're thinking in the right direction because stocks are very volatile, especially individual stocks like that. And there's no way around them. Sometimes they're issued in those cases like as a benefit, right? So they've been issued them as a benefit, but when you can sell them, it is good to sell them. So they're thinking in totally the right direction. I would find a CFP, a certified financial planner, and you were right on the fiduciary as well. The fiduciary is legally required to give recommendations that are in your best interest. They're legally required to do that. My other caveat is, I would like to try to find somebody who is not a insurance salesperson who is also selling financial products. I want to find somebody who's primarily doing financial advising and leaving the insurance to the insurance people. They tend to get a little into the things. They are more incentivized to sell high cost insurance products that do not benefit you and benefit them. And so I would like to avoid that. So find somebody you trust. I personally, the way that I did it when I met with 3 different people, talked to them on the phone, felt out who I felt the best with, I trusted the most, and then I kind of dipped my toes into the relationship with them. I'm also personally, the way that I do it is I look for a financial advisor who lets me pay them hourly versus like a percentage of my, which at this point that's not assets under management. So you want to find somebody who will let you pay them hourly.
Why do you do that?
Well, because I don't like giving away a percentage of my assets under management. I would prefer to just manage them. It's relatively simple for where I'm at. And personally, I don't like the idea of like, if I had $500,000 and I'm paying them 1% versus $1 million and I'm paying them a 1%, they're doing roughly the same amount of work. And then I'm paying them exponentially based on that. So I would prefer to just pay them for their time, whatever is fair for that, and then manage most of it myself. There maybe are situations where, but most of us are not going to be in those situations where I think you should do it like that. So find someone, meet a couple, see who you trust, make sure they're a fiduciary, make sure they're not just, if selling insurance products primarily, make sure they're really a financial advisor, and go with your gut, follow your gut. Like if something doesn't feel right, listen to that. And yeah, so that's all I got there. So, well,
did we make it through?
We're live. We're alive, and there is a video, and we did go live. So thanks for tuning in to the person that tuned in. To the person
that was here, thank you.
If you're watching this after and it's recorded, then comment below and let us know that you watch it. And we'll see you next Tuesday at noon. Bye-bye.